Welcome to Pause with Polly in our season of Lent, and this week we are exploring generosity, not just in what we give, but how we open ourselves to life's abundance. And today, Thursday, April 3rd, it's about an abundance mindset. Starting with John 10:10, I came that they may have life and have it abundantly. Have you ever found yourself thinking, oh, I needed to hold on to this because there's not enough to go around? I'm gonna save this because someday in my life I'm gonna use that. I'm not sharing this because I don't know what people can do with my ideas. They are mine, only mine. That's what we call a scarcity mindset. The belief that resources, that love, opportunities, happiness, and sometimes even material things are limited. And when we think this way, generosity often takes a backseat because we feel like we have to protect what is my precious, what is ours, what is mine. And that happens, yes, because we human beings have been through moments in which mainly tangible things, material things, were not there. And we created that and we live with that idea. However, Jesus has invited us to something very, very different. He's invited us to have an abundance mindset. The idea that in God's economy, there is always enough. There is enough love. There is enough grace. There is enough kindness. And when we trust in that abundance of there is enough, we can give. We can give freely. We can be open to it. And we know that sharing doesn't mean losing. It means multiplying. And that is the human being mathematics, not the numbers. And this reminds me, this story of there is enough and I can share, and what goes comes back, because it's a cycle of give and receive, reminded me of another Brazilian book called Nicolau Tinha uma Ideia. I love that book as well. So it is Nicolau had an idea. And in this story, Nicolau discovers that ideas don't disappear when they are shared. And he changes an entire village that would only keep their ideas to themselves to start sharing, to have more than one idea, to talking about their ideas. So now instead of having just that one thing in their minds, they grow, they spark new thoughts, and they create something bigger than what was before. It's the same with generosity. When we share, we don't run out of, we create more. And it's just like thinking of a candle. If you lit a candle to put on a cake, that candle is lighting others. And it is not, that candle is still there. That flame is not getting lost with the others. It spreads the light. And this is how generosity works. This is how we are invited to work. Thinking about you, thinking about your journey. Go in your life of a moment when generosity, whether you're on or somebody else's, created something even more goodness. That was a huge effect of something. How did it feel? How did it feel for you in your heart? Going through that, even if you were seeing it on a movie or seeing somebody else's experience, or you going through that. What would it look like for you to embrace an abundance mindset just for today, just for this week, just for this month? Just for what would it look like for you to embrace an abundance mindset? And even maybe there's something you are holding very, very, very tightly. You're holding on tightly to something that is your precious. Where might you be holding on tightly to something that actually could grow if shared? Take a deep breath and start absorbing generosity, as it isn't just about giving money or things, but it's about presence, kindness, and trust that there is always enough. There is always enough, and that you are enough. And what you give in love and kindness will only multiply, keeping the balance of giving and receiving. Think about it. Share your ideas. Have conversations. Questions and conversations can change the world. I'll see you next. Thank you for being here.